So I will wait for others. I would like to pass the mic to others for them to self-introduce themselves.
Good morning, all. My name is Fabio Isola Tonoa, the Environmental Assessment Department, State Ministry of Environment and Water Resources.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Al Sadi, Scientific Officer, Minister of Environment and Water Resources.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ayana Felicia. I'm from the Department, Ministry of Environment and Water Resources.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Bukola Ayola from the Ministry of Environment and Water Resources.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Olatunji Abayomi from the Environment Management.
Good morning, everyone. I am Sasha myself representative.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Adim Sheji Adim Kola, myself.
Good morning. My name is
My name is Olakade Tunayo, Environmental Assessment.
I am Bukola Akeomolola, Environmental Assessment Department.
Good morning, my name is Environmental Assessment. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jemai Innocent, Environmental Assessment Department.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Anis Environmental Assessment Department.
Sorry, Environmental Assessment Department.
Thank you very much. So I would like to call on the representative of the commissioner for his opening remarks.
Thank you all. In order not to take much of the time, I'm here to represent the Honorable Commissioner because it's absence. Due to by Mr. Corbett. Ask to just start for him to do the justice to why we are here. And I would not like to take much of our time. I know why we are here. I believe a lot of us know why we are here. We are here all about EIA, Environmental Impact Assessment for the proposed project. And this EIA process is a due process that is not new. That all developed or proposed developed projects should follow. Even after following, if it's a developmental project in terms of building, I believe one of the things that before you commence your construction, you go to physical planning, you obtain all your planning permits, developmental permits, various service and other permits before you do that. Same thing goes to the projects of anything from 5 floors and above in terms of building residential infrastructure, be it land reclamation, these are things that we can talk about. So the EIA process needs to commence before the construction of this project. The purpose of the EIA is all about sustainability to the environment, of which the developers most times do often ignore due to their ignorance. But I'm using this opportunity today to kind of pass the message across most of the project developers to have it in mind, not to ignore the process. It's a process that is that is beneficial to the environment, not to the profit margin that most of the always follow, but at large. To you, to humanity, and growth. And one of the things that AI process will follow, we have various processes in AI that's supposed to follow, from the process of should I say, consummation, from the idea stage down to the implementation stage, to the final stage. But this process now, see one of these processes in which we are, this is almost, I think it's almost about the final stage of the AI, which is auditing, going through the report to see the implementation, the hazards the projects might have on the environment, the mitigation that is proposed for the problem the projects will have on the environment, and to finally after the project is passed, finally the ministry will be calling the EIS, the Environmental Impact Assessment Statement, to back it up if the project flies, but if not, it will be recommended for one or two things to patch it up. So, and I believe we have erudite scholars, people with the tools that are very fast in this area to do justice to this report, to look at the nitty-gritty of what we are here to do today. I will not take much of our time. I would like to kindly welcome us onto today's program and let the program's comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. So I would like to call on the panel chairman to give us his remarks.
The representative of the Honorable Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Engineer Lawal. My colleague, the head of the EIA unit in the ministry, like Professor Lasisi, and directors here present, representative of MISA, and the consultant, environment management. It is an honor to actually be here to chair this panel. We are still expecting other panelists to join us, particularly from Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development, the Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service, as well as the representative of the local government area where the project is located, that's Etiosa local government. So that together we can look at this report together. Just like the Honorable Commissioner Surek has said, the purpose of this review meeting, of course, the report can be reviewed in-house, and the position taken by the ministry, but the decision to set up a panel to review the report is just to allow for a more robust review of the document, to ensure that the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, so that we can have a sustainable project. That is the whole essence of the review process that we're going through today. And I'm sure that this is not the first that we'll be handling, and I'm sure that we'll do exactly what the panel is required to do, looking at the technical details of the report, looking at the adequacy of the data so presented, and then we can do recommendations to the Honorable Commissioner for the Environment, whose power it is to either sign the approval or decline the approval as the case may be. So, just to, in a nutshell, thank you all for leaving your very busy schedules to be here, and I wish us a very fruitful session. Good morning.
Thank you very much for the remarks. So I would like to call on Mrs. tonight, Ojuanabe, to give us a brief about the proposed project. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Junai Person of the Environmental Assessment Department. I'm here to make a brief of the project. on the project EI for the proposed 12 floors building project at 15 Global Road, Ikwe, ATS Alpha Government Area of Lagos State by Nissan Nigeria Limited. On the 10th May 2024, Nissan Nigeria Limited applied to the Ministry for environmental impact assessment permit in respect of the proposed 12 floors Icona apartment development at 15 Global Road, Ikoyi Community, ATS Alpha Government of Lagos State. Following the receipt of the EIA study terms of reference and registration of the proposed project and project, the proposed project site was inspected on Wednesday, 22nd May 2024 by officials of the ministry as part of the initial environmental evaluation of the proposal. The following were observed at the site during the EIA site verification exercise. The proposed project site is located at Alma Beach Estate, Middle Hallway, Ikate Community. The proposed project site falls on the geographical coordinates of 6.271944 north and 3.25.3892 east. The project is accessible by the Global Road off Alfred Rewan and Oba Inka Oyeko roads in the Ikoyi community axis. It is bordered to the north by adjoining Global Road and a residential building, and to the east by the King's Court Apartment Park, to the south and west by adjoining residential buildings. The proposed project area is predominantly a residential land with several classes of residential homes adorning the project community skyline. There was no evidence of archaeological sites within and immediate the proposed project site. The proposed project site had commenced at the time of the inspection exercise, and construction workers were seen on the site. The EIA terms of reference was consequently approved by the ministry, and proponent was directed by letter dated 10th June 2024 to proceed with the EIA study covering the one season data in respect of the project, taking into consideration all key and subcomponents of the proposed project. The ministry received both the hard and soft copy of the project draft final EIA report of the proponents on 18 July 2024 for consideration. As part of the consideration of the draft final EIA report, as well as needing to obtain the input of experts and relevant developmental project approving ministries in Lagos State, the permanent secretary on the 7th August 2024 constituted a 6-member panel to review, examine the adequacy of the draft final EIA report and make recommendations to the ministry for an informed decision. Informed decision on the project EIA, which is holding presently as an LCCI Event Center, North Nuruddin, Olowo, Boko Avenue, alongside Ikeja. The panel members include the following: Chairman of the panel, Dr. Sojuni Olasupomi Shewanu, representative of the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Environment and Water Resources, Engineer Saeed Lawal, representative of the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Fiscal Planning and Urban Development, representative of Lagos Fire and Rescue Services, Engineer Ifeanyi Okere, fellow Nigerian Institute of Engineers, Engineer Ibrahim Ali, mechanical engineer, representative of the chairman, ATL Service Government. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for the brief. So, next on that, I would like to call Myself Limited to give us the technical presentation about the proposed project.
Okay, we need to move on to that side so they can present. Because maintenance, you know where the light is. Actually, you can look at safety briefs as you can in there. So that you only collect safety briefs. You don't know where the light is. So where is the way of escape now? Where's our monster point?
My name is Tiri Mendes. I'm South Sheriff, representative of Master Nigeria Limited. We all know that Master Nigeria Limited is a developer, it's a real estate company, and we are currently embarking on the construction of 12-story building at number 15 Ifa Road, Ikoyi. So we are here to present our environmental impact assessment study. So, number one on the outline is introduction, project justification, project description of the environment, associated and potential impact, mitigation measures, environmental management plan, EMP, conclusion, and recommendation. According to Olawale, Lawal, and Alabi, in their write-up in 2015, where they define housing as the physical structure that man uses as shelter and the facilities, amenities, and other aspects of the social environment which each man with its remote immediate environment. We all know that each and every one of us, we came from somewhere this morning, which is our housing, which is our house, which is our abode. There is no how a human being can be sleeping and staying outside the outside open weather. So that's the reason why that the housing is defined as a physical structure. So there are laws that guide the construction and everything associated with the building construction. We have federal laws, we have state regulations which differ from state to state, and we have international convention.
Hello, sir. Nice, sir. You have only 30 minutes to do that presentation.
Okay, sir.
So you need to manage your time.
Okay, sir.
We are expecting Nigeria in 2 areas. Tell us about the construction work.
Okay, sir.
That's about the construction work. Then tell us about the EIA.
Okay, sir.
So I don't know if you are the one doing it.
No. I just pushing you about construction.
Yeah, so don't bother yourself about
Okay, sir.
some of these details you are giving us. The AI person will do that.
Okay.
Just tell us you want to do this. This is how you want to do foundation. This is what you want to do. How you want to do the superstructure and all the rest. Leave issue of environment for the environment person.
Thank you, sir.
So I can manage the time. Thank you.
Okay. Presently, we are constructing 12-story building of 43 apartments, 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom apartments. So we have gotten our approval from Ministry of Physical Planning and Lagos State Building Control Agency as well. So we have already do our design by one of the prestigious consultants in Lagos, which is MOA, and the structure was is designed by interstate architects. And our structural design, we have 238 pies, and the lowest loads to be received by each group of pipe is 50 kilonewton, which means that the group of pipe will carry a column that will receive a load of 50 kilonewton. So we have in our example, we have some load of 75 kilonewton per millimeter square as well. So, and presently we are at our filing stage. That's the only work that is going on site, because we all know that before you can embark on total construction of the building, your EIA must be obtained. So that's it.
Sorry, sir.
238 pies.
Okay.
So The site is located between Mokoladi Johnson Avenue and Glover Road. So as you can see, this is the entrance to the site. This is the access road to the site. This is the drainage, and this is the site itself. So the construction phase, that is where we have our design, by architectural design, M&E design, and structural design. So, and another thing is approval from the physical planning and mobilization of equipment. Construction phase. So after the pre-construction, so we have to embark totally on construction phase, where we have our pipe construction, installation of our columns, reinforcement bar, the form of the columns, and so on and so forth. Operation phases, whereby we have our, currently we have our traffic control approval. So we are working on our wastewater management approval presently, but all these things we have to be in test before the people move into the building. So the commission phase is whereby the occupants started living in the building. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Let's appreciate it.
Good morning once again. My name is Oladimi Abayo. I'm a representative of Environment Management. So I'll be talking briefly on the description of the environment, the air quality sampling, noise sampling, groundwater sampling, soil, ecology and vegetation, the laboratory analysis of the OPI. Next slide. So this next slide is showing the geographical coordinates of the groundwater and soil sample. So these are the coordinates of where we took the groundwater from and the soil sample from. So this table is showing the result of the air quality and noise quality. Now, these are the interpretation of the results in the other slide. This is so this is talking about the total suspended particulate or SPM. Then all the SPM values, they are within the LASEPA Ministry of Environment limits. Then for the TBOC and oxygen level, they are also within the LASEPA, the Federal Ministry of Environment limits. Next slide. The carbon monoxide, H2S, they are both within the range of LASEPA and Ministry of Environment. Then for the noise level values ranges from 72.5 to 80.6, which is also within the range, the permissible limit of 85 decibels for LASEPA and Nigeria. So this result is for soil studies. The pH values for we took our samples in 3 different places for the soil. So the pH ranges from 7.0 to 7.4. Likewise, nitrate, sulfate ranges from, their values are there on the screen. Then for the heavy metals, all concentration falls between within acceptable ranges. But for lead, and nickel, they were not detected, but manganese was only detected in the soil sample. Next slide, please. Yes, for the groundwater quality, we have the pH value for the samples. Then we have the salinity. The salinity, they are higher than the recommended limits because the project area is near to a salt water, is a salt water area actually. So there's a tendency for salinity to be a bit higher than the limit. Then the electrical conductivity, TDS, TSS, total alkalinity, all other things, they were within acceptable range. Two parameters that were above their range were pH and salinity. Next slide, please. For the heavy metals, all heavy metals were within their limit except for cadmium that was slightly above its limit. Then nickel, lead, and chromium, they were not detected at all. Likewise, for the microbial properties, the property shows presence of coliforms and the plate count was above 100 CFU. Next slide, please. Now, moving on to associated potential impact. Yes, for the air quality, during operation, there will be dust. Their construction is due to bring about high level of dust and vehicular emissions, which can in turn cause air pollution. Likewise, for the noise, the sound of heavy duty equipment that is used on the site will actually cause noise pollution to the environment. Then the groundwater. When groundwater abstraction means you remove fresh water from the soil from groundwater level, either temporarily or permanently. So when doing that, it has to be done in an industrial way in order to avoid water pollution to the environment. Likewise, the soil, which chemicals that are used on site, workers should be very careful with them in order to avoid spillage that can contaminate the soil. Then for the employment and income opportunities, we assume that workers they will engage workers in that community so that more income can flow in the community. Yes, moving on to the mitigation measures. These are the measures that should be taken in order to control the environment. On the air quality, that the dust generated can be prevented through dust suppressant, that is water. Sprinkling of water on the project site can reduce the amount of dust that is generated. Then construction materials that can be blown by wind, that can generate dust too, can be covered in an enclosed area. Likewise, for the noise level, heavy duty equipment that is used that are not in use can be switched off or turned off for the meantime till the time they will be used. Then workers that are also working on the site, they can as well reduce the unnecessary charge, which can cause noise pollution. Then for the groundwater quality, prevention of hazardous materials, spilling of both the groundwater and the soil quality is to avoid spilling of hazardous materials that can cause contamination both to the water and the soil. Next slide. So moving on to environmental management plan. The environmental management plan covers the construction phase, the operation phase, and the decommissioning phase. So it will cover when the project is starting and operations on the site, then after the whole operation. Talking about the air quality for the construction phase, the mitigation measures, adoption of water suppress the dust. Then monitoring the air and noise quality should be monitored daily and weekly. Likewise, for the groundwater to avoid spillage of materials or chemicals that can contaminate the water. Then that should be done occasionally during construction. It might not be every time. Then for the traffic, a traffic officer should be in place to be able to control the movement of vehicles in order to avoid accidents. Then development of traffic management should be involved. Then for biodiversity, we believe that the area where this project site should be cleared in order to reduce off-site plant species and also animals that are harmful to man. Then for the soil, I mentioned that earlier, soil, we should avoid the spillage of materials that can contaminate the soil, and also be careful when during excavation or in aggressive weather condition, maybe during rainy season or strong winds. Then for the occupational safety, that one is usually for the workers. All workers must be on their personal protective equipment, that's the PPE. Then medical emergency response plan should be made available. And another thing is there should be no room for smoking or hard drugs at the site. That one should be monitored daily. Therefore, the soil quality should be monitored to the next slide. Then moving on to the operation phase, when the operation is ongoing, for the air quality as well, reduction of air and pollutant through reduction of noise and air pollutant through the use of well service equipment. The equipment to be used on site must be well serviced. They should be well serviced, and for the monitoring, evaluation should be done quarterly, shouldn't be every time, so that it won't slow down the work on site. Then for the groundwater quality, they should also they should ensure that quality are in compliance with the limits. Then for the water to be made portable for use. Then groundwater quality assessment should be done every 2 years as well. Then for the waste, the workers should try to maintain good housekeeping on site. Then they should ensure every waste handling and disposal method. This should be done daily because waste will be generated every day while working on site. Then for the social economy, as I've said earlier, I said workers should maybe be hired within the project community, so that income can flow. Then for the occupational safety, PPE should be used. Then training on workers on how to handle things, equipment, substances should also be done to be ensured. Then for the soil quality, soil assessment should be done as well. Then let's go back to the other side. The soil assessment should be done. Then clean up also should be ensured. To clean up procedure should be ensured. Next slide. Now this is for the last part of the phase, the decommissioning phase. So also noise level and dust generators and dust generation will be monitored here as well. Then solid waste also as occupational health and safety, use of PPEs. Then for the generation, they should follow the normal guidelines on how to dispose their waste. Then for the noise, we can sprinkle the whole environment with water so that it can reduce the high level of dust generation. Then for the recommendation, air monitoring should be done, proper waste handling. Then they they should train the workers on how to engage for the commissioning phase. Next slide. Now, for the purpose of waste generation on site, as I've said, training should be done for workers on how to collect waste, to handle waste, to transport, to store, and to dispose waste on site. So these steps are the steps guiding the waste management plan for the project. Next slide. Now, also in continuation of the waste management, we have possible waste that will be generated during operation, which can also be, this waste can also be reused or recycled for further use. So these are the list of the waste that can be possibly generated from the operation and can be further used. Next slide. Now, the conclusion from the project. We believe that the project being sited in that particular community is going to be a beneficial impact on the social economy of the host community and the national economy at large. Then we believe that EMP developed will ensure that procedures for managing the possible impacts of the proposed project as well as for implementing the environmental and social commitment made are developed and maintained throughout the project lifecycle. Then for the recommendations, we recommend that all workers that will be working on site and staff should use their PPE. Then regular training should be done for staff at regular intervals. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that wonderful presentation. So if you have any comments, observation with respect to the presentation he made just now, kindly please signify.
Mrs. Misa for the presentation. So we will yield the floor for the audience to ask questions. I will start with the audience and then we'll go to the secretariat if they have, before we turn to the panelists. We also have some of our online participants who are already commenting and probably asking questions online. We'll also take their questions. But let's start with those of us who are here. You listen to the presentation. So, okay. Yes.
Thank you so much. There was one correction in the course of the presentation. Now, for the second presenter, you should have used the word be, because they're the ones that tell us what they want to do, not what should be done. It is what they're supposed to do and not what to be done.
I hope you get that. The consultant, as far as we are concerned here, you are Misa. It says Misa. You understand? So your presentations should speak for Misa. You shouldn't be telling us what they should do. You should be telling us what we will do. That's what she's saying. We don't know the consultant. There won't be any consultant here today if there is no Misa. So you should be telling us, because you are speaking for Misa. You should be telling us Misa shall do this, Misa shall do this. Not they should, they should. So that's what she's trying to say. Thank you. Any other question? Okay, so come to the secretariat. Secretariat.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner. Firstly, I would like to commend the two presenters, the first and second, for doing their best presenting what they presented. So I have questions for Rose. So for the first presenter, of course, your own assignment was to talk about the technical aspect of this project, focusing on your building, your structure, and all of those things. And some of the things we would have loved to see on your end is the architectural design of that particular location, the site layout, okay, showing the building, the components of the entire facility. This one will be here, this will be there, this will be there, this will be there. So it's something that is very important that we expect. We expected you to have, presented, which we did not see. Now, taking into consideration the kind of project you want to do, building residential facility. Of course, we understand that we're going to be having foundation. So we expected that you work on the kind of foundation you will have, okay, the design, even the load bearing capacity of the site, the soil, all of those things we expected you to have mentioned some of those things. Okay, now, in addition to what I've said, even the building itself, the design of the building, the apartments are going to be having, okay, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, how many of that are going to have, how many floors of these things. So in each floor, how many rooms, how many 2 bedrooms, how many 3 bedrooms. So we expected you to talk about some of these things. And the entire, infrastructure that are going to be providing. Okay, are you going to be having the sewage treatment plants? Are you going to be having this, and that? So all the infrastructures, on the site, we expected you to mention it. Of course, your company, what do you have for your host community? The CSR. It's something that you should have talked about because it's something that we're also interested in getting from your end. So let me give that to you. Then to the second presenter, the experts that presented the EIA report. I don't know, maybe because the chairman said we don't have time, so you rushed so many pertinent information. Yeah. So there are so many pertinent information that should have been presented when it comes to the EIA reports. So many that you skipped. So let me just brief these things. Of course, there's need for the justification of your project. Why do you want to have this project? You justify it so that at least not everybody has read the report. Some of us are, but not so many. Maybe the IT students they did it, they don't have access to the report. So you would like to know why do you want to do the project in the first place? What is the benefit of this project? For the environment, for the community, for the state, for the federal government. We would have loved to hear something like that from your end. What's the value of the project? Like, I'm not saying what you should tell us the exact amount that you spend, an approximate value, have you expended, and of course, where do you intend getting the money from? Okay, is it a self-sponsored project or they're going to be borrowing money from which bank and all of that information? Then, talking about justification of the project, we also want to hear your project options and alternatives. The alternative locations, do you have alternative site? Is it the only location that you have in mind? Have you considered other possible locations within and outside the state? So all of this information are very key information that should be talked about, in your EIA presentation. Of course, there are laws that guide this kind of projects. This should have been talked about. Okay, these are relevant laws to what you want to do. You should have mentioned some of them, for us to see and then see how relevant they are. Now, going to the field, all the data you presented, you were explaining that the parameters, this were much below their regulatory standards, but you did not even talk about the equipment I used for sampling, air quality, and all of that. We did not even talk about their detection limits, so that we know if those equipment can actually take very low concentrations, detect low concentrations in the atmosphere. We did not even see the maps of the sampling point. It did not tell us anything about your area of influence. that determine the number of locations. I mean, how far you went in identifying your sampling locations. So these are very key information that you have been provided. Of course, pictures. Let us believe that truly you went to the field and you don't see any picture of any equipment of any officer on the field. All of these things should have been presented. Okay. Nothing was talked about, nothing was mentioned concerning your social communities, whether you even related with members of those communities. Nothing. So are we to believe that you don't go there? Nothing was mentioned about ecological study. Are there no plants? Are there no flora, fauna at these locations? So let me stop there because I know that we still have some other contributions coming to us from. Thank you.
Okay, panelists. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, sir. Thank you for the presentation, both the technical and the environmental aspects. There's a question online. One of the viewers online raised the issue of your construction time period. The construction time period. This has become very, very prominent in Ikoyi and PI, where most construction companies normally work in the nights, especially most construction companies also work on Saturdays and they disturb, and on Sundays, and they disturb other residents. The residents who are watching online want you to state the specific time you are working on the site so that it can be documented. If they have any, if any of the residents have a complaint against you, you did not give the schedule of that. So that's the question from some of the people, residents watching online. Let me start my question. So you said the PI Foundation, you talk about the PI Foundation, but you did not tell us the company. I did not hear the company that handle the foundation and the structural justification. The structural justification. You know, if you're building a 12-floor story, you need to let us see the structure. Even if you don't have it, just give us an understanding of the ball, of the poles that are really, so that it will justify, because we expect that it is when you do a little test that will determine when your architect will even do the structural design. And we found out that that's not what most people are doing in Lagos. People just go and give an architect a design and they just do the design building. But we expect that people should do tests to know the kind of foundation you want to do so that will determine your design. So please, we want to get more information about that. In your presentation, you also talk about traffic. You said you have obtained traffic clearance for that area. If you look at the number of units you are doing for 3 units, by Nigerian government, you expect an average family to have 4. I'm saying an average family to have four children. So that means the estimated population, according to your document, is you have 172 people in that. I mean, the estimated population. However, if you look at your car, the car parking space, the car parking space does not correlate. The car parking space does not correlate.
I think it's 2 cars per family.
I know it's 2 cars per family. You have an order that 19. You have time to respond. Why I'm saying this is we have seen a situation whereby the socioeconomic indices of Nigeria does not permit that. You know, yes, the book can tell us that this is what we are supposed to do. But when we keep on, you can't stop. Most people that live in Ikoyi, their cousin will come and stay with them. Their nephew will come and stay with them. So if you are budgeted that the family will only have 2 cars, what happen? If a cousin who's coming who just graduated and before he said to himself, he wants to come and live with his uncle and he has his own car. These are situations that we are seeing in multi-story building in Victoria and in Lekki. I have witnessed even property management of having issues after when tenant moves in. So let's do that. Global Road is mixed use. Global Road is mixed use. And it exits into Alfred Iwane Road now. And that place, we have NDIC, there are 2 other commercial. I did not see your design, maybe you will show us. Because if the road is dual, imagine on a Sunday, if half of the family is going out of that residence into the road, that will cause traffic. So that means your egress and your egress design needs to take consideration for that. That's very, very important. Traffic regulation is something that is good. The building sector is one of the sectors that contribute to climate change. The building sector is one of the greatest sectors that contribute to climate change. And in all your design, all the things you are talking, I've not seen any greening certification. You did not talk about what you want to do to protect the environment when you are talking about your building. Please, you know that the organization is a company that is responsible for building, and you have a lot of building projects on. So, but now Lagos State government has green building certification. So let your organization start key into it. Let your design start reflecting greening. Also, we expect that some percentage of your land must be landscape. Let's see greening in your building. Also, some of the building codes design that we are doing this because we have a lot of students who are taking part, who are here. They want to share knowledge. They want to gain experience from practitioners. So when you are telling us, okay, we did our building was designed based on the following codes. Let's have more on that. Fire protection is something that is very key now. Fire protection is something that is very key. Most buildings we have buildings going 20, 18, 15, 24-story building. We even have a proposal for 40-floor building in Lagos. So we cannot be waiting for government. What kind of fire protection device did you put in your design so that if the government can be rest assured that yes, your resident will not be trapped and it will be something. So please let's just have those small technical details incorporated into our building to make the environment more sustainable. Thank you.
Any comments?
Misas, I think the first person that spoke from Secretariat spoke my mind, but let me add up to what he said. I expected the first presenter, your name please. Sherry, what field please? Field, your field.
I'm a builder.
You are a builder. I must be frank to you, I expected that construction work phase to have been taken by probably a civil engineer or probably a structural person. We will have dealt much more into what my secretariat said. I believe you understand what I'm saying.
I disagree with you, sir.
Okay.
So let the other become when you're not conflicted. So that the right side.
Okay, no problem. Then another thing is, well, I think they talked about the pie decks that was not mentioned, the type of pipe that was done by you. I think that one has been said already. Then you talked about the strength of the pipe. You said the minimum is about 50 kilonewton. The least expecting load. So that means it should be the strength, that big. And then the mass is what?
The mass is 750.
750 kilonewton.
Yes.
Now, I believe these piles have been distributed in various at various points on which the building will stand. So I expected a map showing where all these pipes were, the max and the min. Then your 3D structural drawing, I think he has discussed about that one. I expected it to be the kind of just shown on your slide. Then I expected it to, if possible, you can include it in your report. So I think it goes a long way. You understand? So then I think okay. In your mitigation aspects that was being discussed, there was nothing discussed about how to handle the waste, the solid, the liquid, and that. Not much was attempts. Please try to do that. If it's not there in the report, but please try to do that. I think yes, you were talking about the site itself originally, where you are moving. Is it a virgin land or not?
Or was there a demolition?
Or was there a demolition that was carried out?
Before you started, there was a structure there. And it was demolition. Yes. So here everybody not capture that. When you have a site, you have to have the commission. Before you started the project, here everybody capture the commission of that.
Then another thing, yeah, the person that did the EIA aspects, you made mention of the air, whatever that you are talking about the other time. I expected before and after, I mean before, during, and probably after. Data. Let us see what it looks like and what it will look like in the future by the time the project starts operation. So you understand, at least it can help us for kind of forecast what kind of problem might come in the nearest future. But this thing it's not there. Even if it's not there, kind of make mention of it because we have a lot of high-rise building in that area. So we need to be very careful with all this. For the socioeconomic, yeah, I think as we mentioned, you need to work on that one. Please try to include, if it is not there, the drawings, the permits that you have from all the MDPs in the reports to justify through it. It goes through for adequate approval. Likewise, the justice we are doing today is also there. So let us see that the prerequisites are there because it will aid what is going to be done on this table today. I think that's all.
Thank you, Honorable Commissioners. I have a few comments, and I'm doing these comments particularly because I'm aware that I have some of my students, my interns here, who probably are also going to learn contributions from all that we have been seeing. I want to start by telling Misa that, look, all that we are doing is to improve the quality of the report. So don't see us as opposition party at all. We want to sign off on an AI report that we'll be proud of, that we sign off on it. that we can defend it anytime, any day. So every input we are making is to ensure that we enrich the quality of the report, so that even you that prepare the report will be proud of what you have done eventually. Do you understand? So having said that, I want you to take note of every comment that has been raised, particularly on the technical issues with respect to the project. I have a few comments. Some of them has been talked about. Maybe we should take a comment from the man online before I go.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. One of the questions online says, can the presenter tell us the area of influence of the EIA study? And you should also give an explanation of the mobilization of equipment and personnel to site. He said, while explaining the environmental management plan, we did not talk about mobilization of equipment, how it will impact on the environment, and what are the mitigation measures that will be incorporated to reduce the impact of equipment and personnel to the residents of the environment. Thank you.
Okay, I'm sure that online participants definitely must have been in the EIA process before. A 236 piles, a lot of work. 38, okay, yes, 38 piles. That's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I was expecting that there would be a connection between that, and that will be identified, the impact of that will be identified during potential impacts of the project. How do you handle vibration arising from piling operations? I was expecting that vibration will be identified as a potential impact of the project. I didn't hear anything like that. I was expecting that I would hear how that will be managed, particularly with respect to neighboring facilities. I didn't hear anything like that. The depth to which that pile runs to, did you encounter water? How did we manage the was said about that? And one of the reasons why we do EIA for high-rise development, one of the major reasons is the impact on the groundwater aquifer. If you are going to do ordinary rafts, we may not probably do that. If you are going to be piling, you are going to be going to the earth cross, getting to the groundwater aquifer, we are concerned. And there was no mention at all about how the potential for groundwater contamination from piling operation will be dealt with. Having it in mind that virtually everybody in that environment probably live on borehole, would have expected to hear some things in that direction. Now, I need to also correct, for the sake of, I think it was a slip of tongue anyway, the commissioning phase in the construction project is not the phase when people begin to live in the facility. The operation phase is when people live in the facility. The commissioning phase is when the proponent says that I want to probably pull this down and do something else. So that is with respect to the structure. Now let's go to the EIA area where I'm very interested. My colleague here has mentioned a few things. Sampling maps are very important for us to see the spread of your sampling locations, to see whether they are representative enough. For instance, if I have a 1 hectare land, just giving an example, and I just took sample from 2-3 points, I may feel that it is not representative, because I need to see how you determine the points from which you took the sample. I need to see the spread of the sampling for me to be confident that the sampling is representative enough. That is why we always ask for a sampling map. All you just have to do on the map, you can take a Google Earth and just plot the coordinates of the sampling points. That would be good enough for us. So you plot the coordinates for air quality, plot the coordinates for groundwater, plot the coordinates for soil sampling. That would be good enough for us. Most times, air quality and noise are always at the same point. So you can plot the same point for them. That would be good for us. So if it is not in the report, because we know you have an opportunity to still caption this in the final report, please let it be captioned. I need to be clear. You said you discovered cadmium in water, and it's slightly high. You also alluded to the presence of conifer in that water, which is also higher than permissive level, or it's just the presence. Okay, whether it is present, whether it is higher in the count or not, you did not give us any scientific inference. You are not even saying you should confirm. Just draw an inference to say this may be the reason. There was none. You just told us you observed. And as a scientist, when you observe, before you go to confirmatory tests, you must at least draw some inference. And then we can now say, okay, you can now confirm. You didn't give us any inference. Where is this coliform coming from? Is it possible that there is a sewage that is leaking and is percolating into the soil? We need to have an idea. And you're not telling us what they will do, what will be done to address the coliform presence, because they will still be using borehole water in that place. And the groundwater that you are sampling is from that place, isn't it? And you have found cadmium, you have found coliform. So they should be treating it like that. They didn't tell us anything. He talks about no pictorials at all. So I am tempted to assume that he didn't do anything. No pictorials to show. Anybody even taking ordinary aero core to be measuring anything, there's no pictorials. If you have them, please put them in the report, because somebody else can pick that report and read. Let them see that you actually did something. That is about field data collection. You didn't tell us when the field data was collected, which day, which month. We didn't know. We didn't have any of such information. You didn't tell us which laboratory analyzed the sample, or you analyzed it yourself. We need to know the lab. If it's a separate lab, we will know. If it is another lab, you tell us and give us the address. These are the information that should be in an EIA report. You should tell us which lab analyzed it. Let's go to your impacts. You brushed through the impacts. So I want to assume that it's because of the presentation, that details will be in the report. But I am looking at, you mentioned something about diversity. Did you see any biodiversity? Did you see anything on that land? Were there plants? There were plants. There were plants there. So, what type of plants? Even we used to assume that because the area is a built-up area, there won't be any biodiversity. Forget, there is still what we call soil biodiversity. There are still microbes in the soil. There are still rabbits on walls. So you need to look at that, but that is not significant. Now let me go to your mitigation measures, and I have issues with a lot of them. She pointed a major one. In EIA process, anytime you are proposing a mitigation measure, you speak in shall. Mr. Shall, because shall is more committal than will. Or it's even more committal than when you say that they should. When we are reading the report, and we are not seeing the consultant, we are seeing the proponent. And we are asking ourselves, who is the proponent asking that should? Is it us that should go and do it? So the language should be shall to make it more committal. That is one. I'm saying this because I know that Misa is coming back again next week. Abi? For another presentation. So if we see the same thing next week, we'll just walk you out. So this is very important. The mitigation measures should not appear as mere recommendations, they should appear as statements of commitment. And then we will leave the other comments till when we get to the technical presentation. But based on what you have presented now, I wasn't too sure of where this project is located. Maybe in Ibadan. Because I can't see any map that shows me where it's located. I can't travel from here, right here now with the panel, and be at the location. What I expect is that you take me while I'm sitting here from this place to the location purely by map. You understand what I'm saying? So because you still have another presentation next time, just have this as few adjustments to your slides. First thing, show us the map. Show us, maybe just use a rectangle to show this is the project location with a point. I don't know if I'm making sense to you. That is important so that we can be here and travel to the location. I want to thank you for your presentation once again. I don't know, Secretary, if you have any announcement.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Manning Chairman. So in line with what we have on the agenda, we are supposed to go for a 15-minute break now. Though I'm just being informed that the break is just for us to relax, stretch our legs. The provision they have for us is after the program. So the lunch prepared for us, we give it to us outside the program. So the 15-minute break gives us to relax and the probably the product and the consultant ample time to reflect about some of the comments that have been raised and think about their responses. So in the next 15 minutes, we should reconvene at 11:30 for the technical session of the meeting.
I don't know, do you give up to 15 minutes? Five minutes, so that we can do this thing and get out of it. Thank you.
technical section of this exercise, I would like to introduce Engineer Ibrahim Ali Du from Fellow Nigeria Institute of Mechanical Engineering to our midst. So I would like to call on the proponents to give us their response based on the questions and comments that was raised.
Just a minute. Engineer, good day, sir. So you are welcome. Before you came, we had some session. And so the item on the list is for the proponent to respond to a few comments. We also want to apologize for the mix-ups with respect to the report. Apologies. So, panelists, proponent, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, sir. Once again, my name is Tunji Adekoya Mansa. Based on the queries raised and the comments from the viewers and the rest, I would like to take upon the design overview while my partner will take the technical aspects because of the foundational details and everything. Now, we are embarking on a luxury apartment in Global Road, 12 floors, so to say. The land size is 2,922.1 square meters, while the building itself is sitting on 1,455.360 square meters. Then we're having 43 apartments in all. We have 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, and 3 bedroom estates. We have 119 parking spaces. Ground floor and 2 suspended floors are solely meant for parking. And then within the compound, we see as other areas as parking. We have gym, swimming pool, spa, driver's bay. We have the entrance lounge where we have the concierge. Anybody comes in, you ask things from home. But the swimming pool is on the 2nd floor, where we have the recreational facilities, the gym, and the rest. And notwithstanding, sir, according to the number of parkings, the way we're being taught, and I know that at least for every family or whatever, we have 2. But now that I mentioned that, okay, we should consider some aspects, saying that somebody coming, but that will be taken into consideration in our next solution. Then at the same time, sir, they asked something about the time we normally operate. Our time of operation is 8 to 5. 8 a.m. in the morning, we close by 5 p.m. in the evening.
You don't work on Sundays.
We don't work on Sundays. But there are some times that because of the heavy flow, because we have a continuous flow of concrete, sometimes we take over 1,000 cubic, which cannot be done. So we do in the day and splashes over till that night. But along that period, we have the security agencies, the last mile, everybody in place to checkmate every other thing that will go wrong with it. But
Let me raise something, sir.
yes, sir.
Why we are concerned about that is that about 3 Sundays ago, is it not more than that? 3 Sundays ago, we had a public complaint sent to Mr. Governor for a construction company that is working on a Sunday and the noise was disturbing the whole environment. And we had to go there that day and seal the site. As I'm speaking to you, the site from 3 Sundays ago is still remaining sealed to today. Are you getting this? Number 27, Gerard, you can verify, is still sealed today. So they stopped work for close to almost a month now, or 3 weeks now, because of that noise pollution. That is why we are also avoiding similar scenario. Please, if there is any reason why work will spill over till late in the night, it shouldn't be habitual. It can only be once in a while. And there's a need to get the understanding of your neighbors. That is very important, sir.
Well, we are very important. Very, very good. And at the same time, that we are talking about the accessibility to the site. The main access to the site is through the Mobolaji, Just Avenue. That is the best traffic area. That is the entrance to the site. While the Global Road is exit out from the site. So, and all our approvals, as you said, all our approval documentations will be forwarded down to the ministry because we have all sanitary regulations and approval, even to the extent of the pilot that we're doing. We wrote a letter to the Ministry of LAPSCA because normally get state certification. Because of the pilot, we written to them and we provide us that okay, just only for piling works. Meaning that by the time we're moving down to do the next phase, which is the proper power capping and everything, then we will write a letter to them okay, to give us certification based on that as well. For every of our casting, we do request for them to come for state certification. They give us. Thank you very much.
Let me
And listen, you don't have to answer all of the questions if you don't have all the answers. There are some that you need to take up to address in the report. And there are those you may need to answer. You understand? That's why you won't put yourself under unnecessary pressure. The ones you need to address in the report should be addressed. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. So I'm still remaining myself. I'm Sat Sharif. So we have three types of foundation commonly used in Nigeria: steel foundation, grass foundation, and pipe foundation. So this kind of building of this magnitude, 12-story building, and in a high water table area and swampy area, require a pipe foundation. Before a pipe foundation can be carried out, the first thing needs to be done is soil test, which we did, and based on that soil test, it will give us the number of pipes and the depth in which the pipe will be poured. So when all this has been done, the science says that for the pipe foundation to resist the 12-story building, we must have at least 35-meter depth of 600 pipes. But to be sure that we don't have that to be sure and to have rest of mind, so we have two types of pipes. Firstly, is 800 diameter pipe, 40-meter depth. It's 162 numbers, while 600 diameter pipes with 40-meter depth is 74, make the total 238. So we have some other pipes which are CFA pipe. We have two types of pipes there. We have bore pipe and CFA pipe. So the reason why we choose the bore pipe for the main building is that one of the questions is that how are we preventing vibration of the ground so that it will not affect the neighbors? Before you can embark on piling a foundation, the first thing you have to do is to inspect your neighbor's property. You have to have agreement with your neighbor to take the picture to know the state of their building before you embark on piling because of the soil mining. What I mean by soil mining is that when you are doing the piling, so the ingress of the soil must come inside the bore pipe. So when the ingress of this soil happens, the neighbors or the people at the land around your site, the soil will be washing away under their building. And if this thing happen, it will cause cracking and collapsing of the building. So that's the reason why you have to inspect your neighbor's building first, take a picture, and both of you must have agreement that this is the state of your building before a commitment might come. So all this thing has been done. So, but when you are doing piling and you are doing piling, we don't have much soil mining. So because the process is that the process is using a bucket, striking the ground and bringing out the soil, not like CFA. CFA is it is revolving of organ around a particular point, which when this operation is being when this operation has been done, the soil around that area will be coming to where you are draining. So this CFA do make the soil mining high. So that's the reason why we choose or
So you have fewer CFA?
Yes.
How many?
The CFA is only for the front fence on the area that we don't have neighbor, which is along Glover Road. So it's for the fence. So the main building itself is 4 by, which are 2 by 600 diameter with 40 meter depth and 800 diameter with 60 meter depth. That's for the piling operation. And after the piling operation, we have a group of 5. We have the 5 in groups to carry each columns and the suspended slab. This building doesn't have a beam; it's a flat. It's a flat slab, and that's the reason why my Oga mentioned the other time that our casting group enter the night, because we have a 1,922 square meter. So if we multiply it by thickness of the slab, which is 325 mm, it will give us like over 1,200 cubic meter of concrete, which one concrete supplier or 2 batching plant cannot be done in a day. So that's the reason why it will enter late at times. And when we are mobilizing our equipment to site, we only doing it on weekend or at night, and we don't have much equipment to mobilize to site. What are the equipments we need in construction of that kind of building? Presently, as the pipe is on site, we have 2 rotary drilling machine for the ball pipes, and we have 1 CFA, which those machines are brought to the site on weekend. So that's for the mobilization. And for the another question emanated the other time that when we are doing the pipes, when we are pouring the pipe, the water do come to the borehole. Yes, that's true. And in this case, there's a process to take care of that, where we have the bentonite. Bentonite is a clay soil material from the desert area of the continent, like Egypt. So this bentonite, after the hole has been bored, so there must be a water inside the hole coming up. So after immediately the hole has been bored, what we normally do is that we have a batching plant for that bentonite. So and there's a process we call flushing. So when this hole is being bored, so we have to flush inside that hole with the bentonite. So when they are flushing the hole, the bentonite will be introducing from the batching plant to inside the hole, and it will be forming something like a foam wall or timber trenches around that hole to prevent that hole, so that when we are pouring the concrete, it will give us the shape of that diameter one. It will prevent the collapsing of the soil into the borehole too. Thirdly, it will prevent the reinforcement bar touching the side of the borehole, because if the reinforcement bar touch the side of the borehole, it will be deteriorating the reinforcement bar, and in the meantime, the reinforcement will be rust and it will not be effective. So that's it on that's all on the piling processing. So the other thing I want to mention is in our design, we have a ramp from the ground floor to the first floor and to the second floor, where which my colleague has mentioned. So this ramp also is along the Mobolaji Johnson road, and it was designed in such a way that if eventually the vehicle is coming down, before he gets to the entrance, he must have been, be on totally low speed, so that he will not just come from the building and enter the building with the speed, because we all know what can happen.
Thank you. That was a very detailed.
Detailed construction engineering lecture. By the time I'm leaving here, I'll become an engineer. Just that I will not be a fellow yet. You want to say anything? Okay. Few minutes, please.
All right, sir. I still remember myself. Then the question that popped up were number one, pictures of site visits. We have some pictures of ground that we took during the field work, but we're not trying to make our site too bulky. That was why we exempted some pictures. Then the date of analysis. The analysis was conducted between 23rd and 27th of May. Yes, then the justification of the project is stated in the report. Likewise, the legal framework. Then concerning the equipment used, not to bother our slide as well, we exempt the pictures of the noise meter, the particle counter we used, the GPS. Then concerning the vibrations that may occur as a result of piling, stated that the mitigation measures the other time is also stated in the report as well. Likewise, okay. So for the biodiversity, the plants and fauna and co, they are also in the report too. Then the family maps, that one will be noted for subsequent presentations. Then, sir, you mentioned something about the coliform, that what can be the cause of coliform? Well, the cause of coliform can come through when the groundwater, when it's being the transportation of the groundwater from the ground through, when it's passing through the containers, or when they are being stored. We can assume that containers, if they are not taken care of, they can.
You take your sample from container.
Yes, from the ball. I would visit the holes.
Take the sample from
a hose must part from the from the. I'm just saying that concerning the storage.
So I know what I was saying. I'm saying the sample you took. How did you take the sample?
We took it via hose. So there's a possibility that the hose might.
So you use a contaminated hole to take sample for analysis as a scientist. Is that what you are saying? I don't tell. I've already told you. I don't speak pidgin. I don't tell you say if you don't get answer, just leave her. Address it in the report. It's as simple as that. You don't have to try to answer all the questions. You are not standing before a judge. You are only trying to look at the report and make it better. You understand?
All right, sir.
Yeah.
Noted, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. So, Secretariat, I think it's time for technical session. So, unfortunately, we don't have many, some of the panelists here today. Engineer, I don't know if you would like to say a few things, particularly because a wrong report was sent to you, I gather. The report for next week is what was given to you for today. The officer who did that should be suspended from his salary issue. So we'll take the engineer's comment, whatever he's able to say, because he doesn't have access to the report today. He has access to the report for next. I think you are coming next week for next week. So you have the floor, sir.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Engineer Brian Madden. I'm a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Mechanical Engineers and a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Well, I might not have seen your report, but every construction work, there are some little fallouts that should follow. Because of my profession, I want to ask, is your M&E contractor registered with Korea?
Yes, sir.
Where is he? Where is the representative? Because this name I'm seeing here is not in current data.
Okay.
Yes. When Korea says, are you registered with us? That means, are you registered with us this financial year? Because you could have sacked your qualified people last year, and when you come for registration, they are no longer there. So it's done every January. So I'm going to ask you that question again. Is your M&E contractor registered with Korea? No.
Can I answer that question, sir? Go and find out when you have the answer. No, because.
Okay, you don't have the answer. You just assume it's no.
You are not the no, sir. It's because I know.
Don't tie your leg.
No, I don't tell my legs. I want to ask you a question, sir.
Okay.
No, you asked is our consultant registered with Korea. We have two types of registration with Korea or all these bodies. One, as a personnel, if you are an engineer.
I didn't say is your engineer, I said is the M&E.
As a company. So it's talking about a corporate registration.
Don't know. That's an issue because Korean law says your certificate of registration, your practicing certificate must be attached. Don't do I didn't see any. When you are coming for an occasion like this, those people must be there because you cannot speak for them. Are you a structural engineer? You are a builder. Yes. Because the way you are trying to explain the engineering part, you are going to what you don't know. Fire formation is not building. Don't do that next time because what you explain, you are not explaining them well. That piling work. I look at you as this guy is not an engineer. So please don't go into what you don't know. Please. You are a good builder, accept that, but what you are doing here, not your field. Now, the treatment of solid waste, solid effluent, because in most construction work, it's a problem. For that building, 12 stories, I think, 12 floors, the first 2 are for parking. 10 floors, how are you going to treat the solid waste? How is not going to be drainage works? You can't see the treatment of it's not here. It's very paramount. The design is here, but it's not here. No, because I would want to ask the plumbing materials, the thickness of the pipe, the piping thickness. They are very important because even the specification are not even adhered to. And once a vehicle is passing through where those pipes are buried, you collapse. Well, maybe you people came for construction management because I cannot comment.
I want you to be very
Yes.
This
depth of insertion.
It's even doing other services now that is not paid for.
I'm doing it for Lagos State government where they do, but it's been by where it was. And they will not say engineers don't do their work. Another question here is cabling. Is it surface or conduit? The cabling, is it conduit or surface? Because yes, people like doing conduit, but after construction, the management of those cabling, the internal cabling becomes a problem because of poor installation, which often causes fire, endangering the neighborhood. And you say parking, because we've noticed when people do parking space within the building, that's the first or second floor, the way they design the columns, it's not safe. When people are trying to meander through those parts, they damage the column. And for such building, when you damage one column, yes, it becomes a pack of cards. You know, assess that design. So, the design of parking space is very essential. I would advise you to go to First Bank headquarters or this building in Marina. It's close to UACN. They have it. Yes. Check the way they design their column so that because driving is an expertise. Two drivers don't drive equally. Some are very good, some are bad. So when you are meandering, you will not be damaging those columns because you scratch, you are indenting, friction. In 10 years' time, something that is not this big can become this big. Stability will not become a problem. So that's one. 2, your construction equipment. Are you leasing? You are leasing. Yes. The management of those construction equipment on site is also an issue because when there is maintenance, you find that you just take the black engine oil and pour in the drainage, spill it over, or they pour it on the road. It now becomes a problem for the neighbors. I don't want to dwell on noise because they are already one. I mean, you heard what happened to the contractor chairman was talking about. So you can take Lagos State government test. Air condition. Is it single or is it one for the whole building? Drainage of the air condition, where is it entering? On the ground, or is it linked drainage? I'm constrained because I'm not talking to the MIT person. Please, I'm sorry, Mr. Abdullah. Chairman.
No, you don't need to be sorry, sir. You're doing your job, sir. Please. Oh, you are not talking to the wrong person, you are talking to Misa. Okay. Secretariat, can we take your comments?
Thank you, sir.
And please, I know you have a lot to read, please just spare our time. Yes?
I also want us to get more listeners as fast as possible. About 40 comments, exactly 40 comments I have.
40 comments.
Yes.
Summarize them.
Okay, preliminary.
Because you are going to give them hard copy.
Let us go. So I just, yeah, so preliminary pages. So on the title page, the inclusion of the name of the preparer is not warranted. We don't want it to be advertising your consulting firm. That report is for your document. So on the title page, in line with the National Year Report Writing format, what you want to see there, the name you want to see on the title page is the name of the document. Because there's a dedicated list for preparers, list of AI preparers, then you can have your names and all of those information. But on the title page, you want to see details of the funds, all that. Then the entry of the document, the report subtitle was not provided, so we need to see the MDs of the government that submitted the report to Lagos Ministry of Environment and Water Resources. Details of the AI preparers provided on page XIV is also inadequate. Aside the role each of the experts play in the preparation of the report, it is important that the qualification and areas of expertise of the individuals are distinctly provided. And this will give insight to the level of competence of the preparers of this report. If you check your list of AI preparers, just the names and the role they play, about 2 or 3 rows. Names, air quality expert, noise expert, soil expert, and maybe impact evaluation expert, and that's all. Now, for those experts, what are their qualifications? What are their qualifications? Then another thing is, if these are the areas they focus on, concerning these projects that are still building, you know, there is no engineering expert, there is no socio-economic expert, there is no ecology expert. How do you get those things done? So that is a thing of concern to us. Okay, so chapter 1, under section 1.8, where you have the administrative and legal framework, there are laws and regulations that are so much relevant to your project, but which you did not reference at all. You have the Labor Act, because there are going to be workers working for you on the site, construction phase, operation phase. You need reference Labor Act 2004. We have the Urban and Regional Planning Act. We have the National Building Code 360, which are not there. Employees Compensation Act, to mention about a few. Now, back to state laws. Just so you know, there is this law that encapsulates all environmental matters when it comes to Lagos State. You did not reference it. And that's Lagos State Environmental Management and Protection Law 2017. If you are able to reference that particular one, then the assignment you are talking about will not be necessary. Local law, the agencies within, under the ministry, you won't need to be referencing them anymore. So you should reference the law. Then we did not talk about the Lagos State Urban and Regional Plan and Environmental Law. Very important, very key. Lagos State Social Planning and Environmental Law 2010, very key. Lagos State Building Control Law, very key. Then, of course, very importantly, your own local government bylaws. You shouldn't forget it, it should be there as well. Now, let me go to chapter 2. Under section 2.3, where the value of the proposed project is mentioned, so the project was over 3 billion naira, but we would like to know where are you sourcing this money from? Is it going to be a loan or is it a self-sponsored project? Now, chapter 3, I found this chapter, I'm sorry to use this word, grossly inadequate. You only list steps, actual activities that they're performing, but detailed information about those activities, we did not talk about it. Okay? No detailed site layouts of the development. You know, the chapter is expected to detail the site preparation, your planning method, as well as details on excavation and building of the site. for construction. So essentially, the chapter under section 319. So what we expect to see, very important information, description of the foundation design, including dimensions, materials, and load bearing capacity, the methods for installing the foundation, such as digging, pouring concrete, graving posts, graving pipes, they are not there. The types of machinery and equipment to be used for the foundation work, not mentioned. The steps to be undertaken in constructing the foundation, the framework, reinforcement framing, all of these things. So all this information are very pertinent information that should be provided in this chapter of the report, as this will help in understanding the impact of the project on the physical environment as well as the socioeconomics, and also inform the kind of mitigation measures that we need to perform in chapter 6. Let me go to chapter 4 very quickly. Okay, now you also mentioned that when you're making your presentations, I just forgot to talk about it the other time. Now, opportunity. So you use this term TSP. They now put as a kind of subscript after the P 2.5 TSP 10. Okay. So that the use of TSP 2.5 and 10 is somewhat misleading. TSP is total suspended articulate, total. So it's a combination of all the components, the fractional components, all the PMs, 1.0, 2.5, 2.7. But if I'm using 2.5, then there should be total energy. As SPM, suspended particulate 2.5 microns, suspended particulate 10 microns. You know, but using TSP, because at the end of the day, I looked at your report. You now compare the values you obtain for 2.5 and 10 with the standard for TSP. The standard for TSP as made by FNL is 250 microgram per MG. So you are now comparing your TSP values, 2.5 values to TSP standard. They are two different things. 2.5 has its own standard, much lower than the other standard. You understand? So there was the comparison is not job. So like the chairman has said, I have so many comments here, particularly on chapter 4, but because of time, we want to have this thing, we want to get on with it as fast as possible. So we will harmonize everything and forward it to you for incorporation into the final report. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Maybe one or two comments from me, and then we can take. You can. You have comments. Oh, okay. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, sir. So for the company and the consultant, these are some of the comments from the resident, and it's very, very important. Number one, soil, dust, and particulate management during construction. That place is already built up, and when you are building, how do you manage dust? For some of your residents, then that's part of the question they ask. Waste generation and blockage of drains, especially during rainy season. We find out that most construction companies normally block their drain by putting sand inside them and not allow the water to flow. Some of the residents are saying you should help in managing that properly.
You have opportunities,
so
just take note.
So in your report, so maybe this you need to clarify this with your consultant or not. In the report, it says there's going to be a car wash and a clubhouse. There's going to be a car wash, there's going to be a clubhouse. In your reports, and based on your presentation, you have ground floor and first floor for car park. Ground, first, and second for car park. And after that, it's building. So If it's building, where are you going to have the clubhouse? Where are you going to have the car wash? Where are you going to have the swimming pool? So where are you going to have? Where are you going to have the sewage treatment plant, the diesel storage? Ground floor. Ground floor. Okay, so please let's take that. In your air quality monitoring, the noise level, the minimum noise level you obtain from that environment is 72.5. That's the rating in your report, 72.5. And that, if you look at the national standard for residential, that is already above the national standard. So which means you need to manage noise pollution on your site. The initial rating now is higher than the national recommended value. So which means while your construction is going on, you need to manage noise very well, especially in protecting the workers, on site. You did not make mention of material testing at all. You did not mention material testing at all. We need to start guiding. See, you have an agency, material testing agency laboratory. So if you are certifying each of the materials you are using, let us know very well. For a property with the total number of occupants, how many flats? 43 flats. How many waste bin? 43, which means if each household has one waste bin, that means you are going to have 43 waste bins. Which floor are you going to put 43 waste bins? Is this still going to be on the ground floor with the diesel, with the generator, with everything? You understand? So, but this is what most story people have not put into their design in Lagos State. Ultimately, you now put the waste bin on the road. You now put the waste bin on the road because we did not plan our design to incorporate our waste bin into it. So please, those are some of the comments. Just thank you very much, sir. Mr. Chairman, thank you for the opportunity, sir.
No, sir. You take all the comments. You take all the comments and then now respond. If you have to, you understand? We will give you a opportunity to respond. If you look at the plan, the program, there's a time for your response. Just take all the comments.
Like I said at the beginning, it's just to help me improve the quality of the report. You know. Okay, my comments are just a few. I was expecting that I would see as part of this team today the HSC personnel for this site. Do you have an HSC person? And he's not here. The issue of EIA falls strictly within his purview. Why is he not here? That means that your HSC person is not important to that movie. It's just one boy that you send on errands. Because the things that we are saying here are his responsibilities, particularly the implementation of the EMP in this report. It's his responsibility. And as a professional colleague of mine, I need to fight for him. I hope, sir, apologies to engineers. I hope we are not going to undermine the importance of that guy. Because it can make a nonsense of all the engineering work you are doing on site. It's important if you actually have it. If it's not that to say, or is the engineer, or is it the site engineer that's doubling as HSC? Because sometimes we have engineers by HSC experts. That is okay by us. That's not the problem.
Yeah, but you do know that in Nigeria presently, it's only one institution that is doing the safety, the health safety environment.
We should want to do.
We just have professional
engineers say you shouldn't go to the area that is not your area. You are beginning to get to our own area. We stay in your place. Just stay in your stay on your lane and maintain your lane. So you won't have accident with other lanes. But the reason I ask is because there are things that he needs to be conversant with. The issues of waste management has been raised now again and again and again. It is his purview. Now, the issue of safety of workmen and visitors to the site is also his purview. And these are critical issues that can even push the company into litigation if care is not taken. So this is important. And I'm saying this from experience. We have had construction companies constructing, and pipes, iron bars are falling from their premises into the neighbor's premises. And we have had to seal those sites severally this year. I don't know if you are getting me. We have construction companies working without netting, no net. So concrete cements are falling from their site into the other site. And we are in a social media age. The moment it gets to my commissioner, the directive I have is, even if it's on Sunday, go and see. So I don't want your own company not to allow you to sleep on Sunday. You understand? So these are issues. Now, insurance cover. Nobody has talked to us about any insurance issues at all for this project. Insurance for your workers, and is there any insurance for anybody facilities around you in case of any insurance? Nothing has been mentioned about this, and this is also important. And it's a 12-floor building. And I also know that Misa has an 18th floor. Right? Next one will be 18th floor. Yeah. So we need to address this issue of insurance, not just for the workers, but also for in case, God forbid, it's important. So those issues, we need to see them clearly highlighted in your reports. Now, and lastly for me, so that you can go, is I do not even have an idea of the project schedule. When is it going to end? Is it going to go on to Jesus call? It's not even in your report. There should be a clear indication of when this project will start, or if it has already started, and when it's likely going to end. It doesn't have to be, but give us what is important for us to see. Then the issue of the source of funding is not because we want to prove whether you are doing money laundering. No. It is important to us in EIA because we want to be sure that you are not abandoning the project along the way for lack of funds. I don't know if you get me, sir. That is why we normally ask, what is the cost of the project? How do you intend to source for the fund? If you are going to get credit facility from banks, we may be at risk, really, they get it. Or if you are going to do self-sourcing, who are the people providing the money? It is not because we want to know whether you are laundering money for anybody. If you like, beyond that. Once the law that's why our own issue. But it's to be sure that you don't. And in sustainability, sustainability in the report, chapter 2 of your report, there is a section for every state sustainability of the project. You are supposed to discuss economic sustainability, you're supposed to discuss technical sustainability, you're supposed to discuss environmental sustainability, you're supposed to discuss social sustainability. And so, for us, the issue of environmental sustainability has to do with how you intend to manage the environment. The issue of social sustainability has to do with how you relate with your neighbors and the social benefits to the people. Technical sustainability has to do with the technical processes of constructing. But the economic sustainability is how do you get the money, and will the project recoup the money back for you? Is there a ready market? That for sure, there's a ready market. This guy is planning to buy one of the flats, I know, but how do you get the money to construct the flat? So those are the things that should be clearly highlighted. And lastly, I do not see in this, and I'm very sure you can, Secretariat, let me witness, is there residual impact identified and quantified in the report?
What they identified as residual is those significant impacts that after they have put in place their mitigation measures, whatever is left is what they consider as residual impact. But for the real residual impact,
so we need to identify the residual impacts and cumulative impacts, because there are other construction companies around you, so that we don't take the noise coming from everybody as your own noise. We need to identify cumulative impacts, what is already existing in that area, and how your own is going to add to it. You understand what I'm saying now? It should be clear. I'm talking to this development manner. If you identify the cumulative impacts, quantify how significant they are, so that when anything happens in that area, we can say it is coming from probably everybody working in this area, not just from this side. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. It's important. On this note, I think we can take their response, if they have response, and then we can go into the closing session. So.
Thank you once again, sir. I'm still giving almost a share. You talk about how we are going to manage our wastewater. We all know that Lofa Road is always flooded when it's raining, and due to the blockage of the drainage. But I'm telling you presently that all the drainage passing through our site, we always evacuate it. We always clean the drainage. We do that oftenly. So that's number one. Number two, in our design, there's something we call waste chutes. We don't have 43 waste baskets in each apartment. What we normally do is that they are in the design. There is a room where we have waste chutes from 12th floor down to the ground floor. So the occupant will be deposit their waste through that waste chute, and it will be coming directly to the ground floor. So in each floor, they do mold that stainless steel in form of cylindrical shape, so that we confirm and in each floor, it will have opening where the occupant will drop their waste and will come down to the ground floor. So in that design, we have waste chutes, and this waste we come down to the ground floor where we have our waste deposit room. So in that area, the normal vehicle will come and evacuate it. So that is the plan for the waste chute. The safety officer, the people from the officer, they came to our site on 2 or 3 different occasions, and she was the one that inducted them before they even entered the site and gave them the PPE. So, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Who went for the site inspection?
I could remember the sister in red, sir.
This is the red.
Yes. Yes.
You went to Mixer site.
Yes.
Did you go through safety induction? Yes. By this man?
No, not me.
Wait now. by one guy wearing one apron. Wearing apron. What was he? He was wearing one reflective.
He was wearing his clothes and reflective.
and they call him efficiency of them. Because that's the way they will make him dress, because they know you know an efficiency officer.
No, sir. She's very good.
Yeah, we believe you.
Next time, she will come with us. Sir.
Okay.
Program of works. So we.
Those things that you can improve in the report, just tell us you are committed, so you will incorporate them in the report. So save our time.
Okay, sir. Source of funds. So can I?
Yes.
So source of fund is from loan and full subscriber. So when we have the development, we do advertise it that we want to embark on so project. So people do come and we have interest.
Okay, so if you don't have subscribers,
We
even
before we even have subscriber, we do go for loan. And the last but not the least is how we manage our dust. So immediately we come out from the foundation, ground floor, second floor, we do erect our scaffold and put nets because it's a built up environment. We don't want a situation whereby an object will fall, injure another people or our neighbor, even our worker or the property from the other neighbors. So really we come out from the ground floor, second floor, to erect our scaffold and put on it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. So as we are about to wrap this session, I would like to call on the panel chairman to give us his closing remark.
Okay, I've been talking since what other remarks. Okay,